Hello, welcome back to an episode of Connected Conversations. I'm Allie and we got Deb, and today we want to talk about having fun. What a stressful topic. And I say that because how much time and energy are you pouring into the things that you love and adore and really are that self-care, that self-love that fuel you up? So Deb and I are going to talk about our strategies on prioritizing fun, why it's important, and ways that we've integrated that into our goals. So stay tuned because I know that if you are that busy professional woman, your top priority probably isn't putting yourself right on top with only the things that you love and adore. So Deb, what do you think about prioritizing fun? How is how has that been navigated throughout your life?
Who doesn't love fun? I just find, it doesn't have to be a big thing. I think a lot of people think, oh, like it has to be like a big outing or something. And I don't think it has to be that. I like to prioritize the things that I know that set me up for success every day. And I know we've talked about like journaling, meditation, moving my body, all those things. But I also find when I make sure that I'm doing those things and prioritizing something that brings me joy, I also find that I find more flow into my work day, or I get those creative nudges instead of like forcing it. I don't, if that makes sense. Instead of just sitting down at my desk and just going through the to-do list of the things that I need to accomplish, if I make that time to do something like dancing or just playing some music, I just find that I'm more aligned and more of those creative nudges. And I also find that then I just bang those things off the list to do. So I don't know, how do you incorporate it into your everyday?
My everyday, I think it's writing it on the list. So if you are a list person, and to be truthfully honest, I don't love lists. The only reason why I'm making a list with one or two things on it is so I get out of like my busy mind and I can focus on one thing. So one thing is always a clear goal that I want to accomplish. That would be my workflow. And then a clear goal of something fun that I want to do. So lately, yeah, like love putting on some dance music, doing some stretches and yoga. And I've also fallen back in love with cooking and
Mhm.
baking specifically. So fun for me sometimes is making that little batch of muffins that I know that the kids will enjoy. Or I have this newfound love for biscotti. So if anyone out there has a biscotti recipe that they absolutely love, please share it. Though it's those creative things that I lean into that I probably have forgotten over time. So I wasn't prioritizing. Um, Food became a necessary evil and it wasn't something that I brought fun into it. So every day, that's how I would do it is put it on the list. And if you are a list person, you get to check it off. Like, oh, I did my fun thing today. So that could be even like outside watching the birds, or fun for you could be like just taking time to reorganize something. Like, think about even ask that question, what does fun mean to me? And what would bring fun to my day? And meditate on it and then write and write and write. And through that practice, I'm sure you will ignite that inner child, ignite that person that wants to have more fun. So I put it on my list for the everyday. So how would you prioritize like building these skills or fun in the grander scheme of things of prioritizing what you want versus maybe your significant, your kids, his kids, family, work, all the things?
All the things. Yeah, I think in the big picture, I think it is, like you say, scheduling it in, making sure, because it was a busy weekend. My partner's brother was up on the weekend from the States, and it's busy, right? And sometimes even just taking that time for yourself and making sure that I, that I get my alone time too. Like it's always I take on a lot of other people's energy, or I'm very sensitive when I'm around so many people. I take on their energy. So making sure that I'm taking that alone time and that time away. Um, we're also going on vacation, and sometimes I find that overwhelming. Like it's like I have to pack, I have all this stuff that I want to prepare for work, and so it's just like you said, I make lists. I'm a list maker. So instead of getting overwhelmed, just attack the one thing that I don't want to do first. And once that one thing is off the list, then everything seems to flow for me a little easier. Because you almost like, or for me anyway, I get a little bit anxious about, oh my God, I don't want to do it, but it's one of those things that you have to do. We all have things that we don't like to do, but if I tackle that one first after I do my self-care, it's way easier. So just breaking down your tasks into much more manageable. Little tasks I find is way easier, but also making sure I'm scheduling that little fun. Even fun for me is meditating. So just taking that time for me is super important. And then everything else kind of flows.
Mhm. Yeah.
And taking
I
time
started,
away, taking time, like I know we're talking a little bit about vacation because I'm going on vacation, but it doesn't have to, it's making that time for you and your family to recharge. So going to the beach for a day, like that's fun.
Mhm.
Doing something different on the weekend with your kids or your family or your partner, or your puppy, whatever that is for you, doing something different like that you wouldn't normally do, and stepping outside your comfort zone to try something new, like a new activity. I think those are all I like new experiences. So trying something new for me is fun. And lots of times when you think it's going to be scary or you're not going to like it, I've had more enjoyable time trying new things than staying in your comfort zone. So I like trying new things.
spontaneity and having like kind of like a bucket list, though my dream date list for myself. And I started doing that last year. It was part of my goals and a 90-day coaching program where I wanted to go on dates with myself. Like even when I was single, so again, single for many, many moons. However, when I was single, I would usually wait for my girlfriends or to go on a date to do the things that I wanted to do. I had a lot of social anxiety of being that person having dinner alone, being that person going to a movie. So to combat that nervousness, I decided to do 10 dates by myself. And wow, like wow, what an eye opener of empowerment for myself. And like sometimes people don't want to do what I want to do, including Nick. Like he doesn't want to fucking decorate cupcakes. Like
He
that's a me
doesn't?
thing.
Come on.
Like he would. I'm sure I could like, oh come on, this is a great idea. No, he doesn't. At least he hasn't expressed it to me. So like, and then again, like I get to enjoy this experience by myself and I'm with the baker that I love. And it's just like I did things like that. So I've started going back to solo dates by myself. And what was the first one I went? Oh, I love to hike. So one day I just packed up my stuff. So there's my spontaneity. When like one morning, like, I don't have anything that I have to do on the calendar. Nothing is like creatively coming to me. I'd love to hike, pack my bag, solo hike, away I go. Um, and then from there, I just pick things off my dream list that I want to do that are important to me and rediscover those moments. Maybe it's dance, baking, going to a bookstore, writing something, going to an art class. There's a million things. And again, I would just encourage you if you've forgotten what those look like. And I, it's almost sad how many people I've coached, and it's like, well, what do you want to do for fun? And it's like,
I have no idea.
what fun?
What's fun?
Where did that? Remember when you were little and you used to do things just for fun, like pick up bugs and put them in a home? I don't know. There's something.
I do think it's like it's forgotten because I think it's
Mhm.
easy, right? Like it's easy to come home from work or whatever you do and make dinner and you get into a routine of maybe just sitting in front of the TV and you forget like there's like a whole space out there to you know consider. And I know for even I love the fact that we're talking about fun for ourselves, but I find that like we often go out for dinner. We're foodies, so I love doing that with my partner. But then it's like, or we'll go for a walk, and like I love all that stuff too. But I'm like, I want to I want to do something new. So we're going to the theater. We got theater tickets for tonight, And, I've talked about like taking dancing classes together or a cooking class together. And just like I would do some of that on my own, but it's also like doing something different with my partner instead of doing the same thing kind of over and over, and just kind of trying new things, going to different places.
Have a drink date with your partner list too, because we're going to the theater too. It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I like that like the bucket list idea of things that you want to do, even by yourself or with your partner. I think that's a fantastic idea. Somebody else was telling me that they had made a top 50 list of things that they wanted to do, and I'm like, so smart. So I think that's a good challenge for everyone, all the listeners. Make a list for yourself, top 50 things that you want to do, and make one for your partner too, and start checking those off. I want to go glamping. That's what I want to do, glamping with my partner.
I love that. That's beautiful. There's so many great
Mhm.
spots in Ontario now to go to.
Yeah. So check us out Monday to kickstart your week. And next Thursday, we will be back with another episode of Connected Conversations. Have a great weekend, everyone.